Our eBay business does over 100 grand a year, but we work under 20 hours a week now. Let's talk about how we set that up and how you can too. What's going on, guys? My name's Sebastian. This is Reseller Junkie. If you're new here, my wife and I, we sell you stuff online and we teach others how to do it. One of my biggest things in life is to work less. I hate working and I hate teaching people how to actually work. If you started selling on eBay today, it would be a lot of work for you to actually get to this point to where I'm talking about. But hopefully with this video, I can maybe inspire you to kind of think a little bit differently about the trajectory of any sort of business you're going to start. This is going to mainly be talking about our eBay business and how we created a process to really just work less. Still make the same amount of money, but just work way less. What we're going to talk about today is not so much the technical aspect. I'm not going to show you how to actually set this all up. What I'm going to talk to you about is the thought process. There are three things we need to talk about. First one is you need to hire help. That is the biggest thing that I can tell anyone that's starting any sort of business. As soon as you have a few extra bucks, hire some help. You need to step away. You need to think bigger picture. You need to understand what's going on the bigger level. You still need to understand what's going on in the day-to-day and still be involved. But at the end of the day, a successful business owner does always step away and pulls back. They let people that are better than them do things that they're better at, right? Maybe you suck at taking photos. That could be your first step. Hire someone to take photos for you. That can literally be the life-changing step that your business needed. For us, it started with a $5 an hour virtual assistant in the Philippines. His name is Loretto, and we've made a ton of videos about him and talking about our relationship with him and how much he's changed our lives. Now, he did. It's a $5 an hour virtual assistant, and he does all the things that I hate for eBay. Going back to letting people do things that they're better at than you are, I hate doing spreadsheets. I hate doing like the daily minutia tasks and the tasks that come along with being a business owner. That's not me. I'm not that guy. I'm not an accountant. I'm not any of those people, and it'll never get done if that was my responsibility. So I pay him to do it. He does our eBay listings. I still have to check stuff in and create the titles and take photos and stuff like that. But he does the physical listing of it. He does our spreadsheets, like I was saying, so when something sells, he updates it and all that good stuff. He does research for us, so if I need him to do Terapeak research for our third-party courses and things like that, that's something else he does. He video edits for us whenever I need him to. He does all of these little things for all of our businesses. And it's not just eBay. I'm not going to just stick to eBay here because we have multiple streams of income, and he helps us with all of those because, again, there's certain things in all of these little businesses that I don't want to do, and it doesn't matter if I do them or not. It doesn't matter if I research something. The data is going to be the same whoever does it, but it's a waste of my time to research something. If I pay him $5 an hour, it's literally nothing. It costs me nothing. It's good pay for him. He's happy, and I get to have more free time. So it's amazing, and anyone can do this. There's not a single one of you that are watching this video right now that cannot hire someone on Upwork or Fiverr for between like $4 and $7 an hour to do this for them. It will change your life, whether it's on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari. It doesn't matter where you sell, you can have a virtual assistant help you out in your business. All right, second part. Maybe hiring help shouldn't have been number one. Maybe it wasn't the most important, because this second part is pretty much all encompassing of this theory as well, and it's creating a system and a process right off the get-go. I don't want you to create a system and a process 3 years into your business, because you will have a hard time succeeding. Those 3 years will be really hard. If you're brand new to eBay or to selling online and you're watching this, and all you have is like one little tote or one shelf of stuff, I want you to start an inventory system right this second. It doesn't matter how small it is, how stupid it sounds. Even if you just take that one tote and you write A1 or AA on it, that is the start of your inventory system, and it's something that will keep you accountable, hopefully for years to come, and from there it can grow. Now, I'm not telling you to go overboard and just start barcoding everything and just having, like, paying a bunch of money for software that you don't need. You don't need to do that, okay? We did that. We had barcodes. We labeled every single thing. We inventoried everything in bags. It was just way more effort than it actually needed to be, so that's not what I'm telling you to do. What I'm telling you to do is create a system that works for you. Our system is super easy because we mostly sell used clothing, so it just gets thrown into totes that are labeled, and that's about it. There's no other real crazy rocket science to it. If you're selling different things, heavier things, odd-shaped things, you will need some sort of system from the sourcing process to checking it in, to testing it, to listing it, to shipping it, to storing. Like, you need a step-by-step process to where if you got sick, you can explain to someone exactly how you do every single thing. Now, Cheyenne doesn't help me so much on the day-to-day of eBay. Honestly, like, mostly it's me and Loretto that handle all of it, just because I don't really need her to handle it. But she can literally go through our process and understand what is going on, because that's the system we've created. I've made it dummy proof, so in case I did need to hand it over, or maybe I sold my eBay business or something, there's a tangible process. It's not just like an eBay account and we like list stuff online. No, like, we do the same thing every single time when we get a item in, right? Like, this mug will be handled the same way as this water bottle. It's so important and it's so vital that you do the same repetitive thing all the time. You know, it sucks to say, and it sucks monotonous and tedious, and it is, and it's not, I'm not saying that part is fun, but that's what a system is, that's what a process is, and that's why every single major corporation in the world does have a standardized process, because it does work and it does help. Lastly, to work less, you need to find your niche. If you are going everywhere and your mind is scattered and you're just going crazy, just buying up everything, what that's going to do is it's going to teach you a lot. It's going to teach you a lot of different item values and things like that. But most likely it would also stress you out, because you're gonna have to store different size things, different weight things. Like, you're gonna have to test these electronics, but then you're gonna have to make sure like the stains come out of these clothes, and just so many different things. And that was us. We did that for at least 2 years. I mean, we were going crazy. We literally would buy anything and everything, from really heavy reel-to-reel players to, I mean, like commercial, like just crazy stuff. I would ship so much random stuff and I hated it. I absolutely despised doing that. It was one of the worst jobs I've ever created for myself, is having to ship a bunch of different heavy random sized things all the time. That's why we stick to clothing. That's our niche. Now, our niche is also that because I know a lot about clothes. I was in the industry as far as that's concerned, but it's something that is really, really easy for us, and it's really easy to replicate on a daily basis. Like, I know I can find used clothing all the time, but I also know that I cannot, listen to this clearly, I know that I cannot find used electronics all of the time consistently by myself to support my family. It's just not there. Too many people are looking for these high ticket, high value, or cool things. It's so hard to find electronics or like even home goods on a steady basis to supply yourself. Yes, people do it all the time, but those people also have great sources. Their market may not be overwhelmed with resellers. There's a lot of different factors to it. Over the course of 3 years, this is what I've learned, and it's gotten so much worse over the past even year and a half, is there is a lot of competition in these big things. You need to find a little sub-pocket of a niche that you can be in and you can call your space, right? Like men's used clothing, that is our niche. I hardly look at women's clothing at the thrift store. I really don't. I spend maybe 1% of my energy there. Men's clothing is our niche. I don't go out of that. It's not something that interests me in growing in other sectors, because I've gone down other categories. I've done it all. And I know clothing works for us. It works for the lifestyle that we want. And I know that we're pretty decent at this niche because I've seen the numbers over the course of a year to where we've really focused on majority clothing, and it works. It really does work for us. You need to find that for yourself. Whether it's baseball cards, whether it's video games, whether it's just PC video games, maybe it's just vintage PC video games. It doesn't matter. But once you get a general reselling knowledge, after maybe like the first year, maybe 2 years, after that, you need to find a field that you can become an expert in. You need to be the go-to person for that, or at least in your head, you need to think that this is my thing. I know clothing is my thing. It's what I sell. It's easy for me. You need to figure that out. But you also need a widespread knowledge, so don't just think like, oh, I'm only going to learn about vintage clothing. No, that's not how you succeed. You need to learn about everything and have a huge, huge, huge database of stuff stored in your head, so you're not relying on looking up eBay sold listings. That's not a real reseller, okay? You're not supposed to be looking up things all the time. That's not the point of this. You're supposed to have a value set in your head from years of experience of dealing with random stuff. It's one of those things where niching down sometimes is really, really bad. Maybe you kind of distance yourselves from the rest of the industry, But then again, it might be really good, like niching down in men's clothing. We avoid a lot of fluff and we avoid a lot of things that just don't sell well. So that's just where we stay. So guys, I hope this was helpful. Again, you can use these theories for any single endeavor you ever do. This isn't really so much just like, oh, this is only eBay process and rules and things like that. You can apply this to any sort of moment, even like your daily life. You do not need a business to even use these tips. If something in your life sucks that you have to do every single day, hire someone to do it. And maybe if you travel every single month, say for your corporate job, hire someone to book your travel tickets or something. I don't know, but these tips apply just to basic everyday life. But a lot of people think that hiring an employee is something that's far-fetched or only for like the big leagues, and it's not true. I mean, maybe back in the day it was, but you can really find some cheap labor that's really, really quality nowadays because of the internet. It's kind of crazy. So guys, again, I really hope this helped. If you want more free tips, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But if you smash that like button, it will help the algorithm even more. So I really, really do appreciate you. Until next time, cheers.